The post hit early in the morning, just after sunrise on the East Coast. No warning, no soft language, just a direct message that felt more like a challenge than a statement. It came from the commander in chief, and within seconds, it was everywhere. All of those countries that cannot get jet fuel because of the Strait of Hormuz. That line alone was enough to stop people mid-scroll, but then came the name drop, the United Kingdom, a close ally, a key NATO partner, and now suddenly a public target. The tone was sharp, almost mocking, not concern, not diplomacy, something colder. The message framed the situation in a simple way. Some countries are struggling, and it's their own fault. No sympathy, just blame. Then came the accusation. The UK, he said, refused to get involved in the decapitation of Iran. The wording was deliberate, heavy, designed to provoke. It turned restraint into weakness, made caution look like betrayal in one sentence, and ally was recast as someone who stood back while others acted. The structure was clear: point the finger, apply pressure, create contrast, strong words, weak action, words, hesitation, and just as the tension peaked, the tune shifted. I have a suggestion for you. It was not a conclusion, it was a setup, a pause that pulled everyone in waiting for what would come next. The pause did not last long. What followed was not a suggestion in the usual sense. It came structured, controlled, and unmistakably firm, like a briefing. Number one, that alone shifted the tone. This was not rant anymore. It sounded official, planned. By from the US, we have plenty. The first command was simple and direct. No emotion, just business. It reinforced a clear message. If you need energy, come to America. No excuse, no dependency on unstable region. It was the familiar America first idea, stripped down to its core. Then came the second point, and this is where everything changed. Build up some delay, courage, go to the straight and just take it. The word hit harder this time. The phrase take it stood out, loud, aggressive, impossible to ignore. It did not sound like advice, it sounded like a challenge, maybe even a dare, something that could be read into two completely different ways, depending on who was listening. For some, it sounded like strength, for others like risk. But the real shock came right after. The USA would not be there to help you anymore. That line landed heavy, no filter, no soft landing. It suggested a major shift. Allies could no longer assume protection. The message was clear: handle it yourself. And then the final twist: just like you were not there for us. Now it was not abandonment, it was frame of fairness, a threat, a response, not betrayal, pay back. After the commands, the tune shifted again. This time it was not pressure, it was confidence, almost final. Iran has been essentially decimate. The wording was careful, but the message was bold. That one word essentially left just enough room to stop back if you need it. But the impact stayed strong. It sounded like a mission already completed. The hard part is done. That line changed the mood completely. It told supporters that the biggest challenge was already behind them. Whatever came next, either manageable, almost routine. It also set up the earlier command. If the hardest part was over, the allies stepping in now should be simple. No more excuse. Then came the final push. Go ye get your own oil. Short shape, easy to repeat. It did not just sound it like policy. It sounded like a slogan, something people could quote, clip and share within second. And then the signature, President Donald Trump. Not just a name, a title, a reminder that this was not just another post. It carried the weight of the office itself, official, direct, unfiltered. By the end, the message had done two things at once. It gave supporters something to ally rally behind, and it gave practice something to react to. Either way, it was built to separate.